Hey, hey, hey. All right, I'm going to try my mic now. Let me check. All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me see. I'm going to test her out. Let me make sure I have good sound. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, try to be fancy. I try to be fancy. Let me see. Testing, testing. Testing. Try to be fancy. Oh, I'm coming through good, loud and clear. Yay, 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 5x5. Hey, Brandywine, good to see you. Welcome in. Yes, I just went OG style. Gave up the avatar for the moment. I'll work on it. All right. So what are y'all doing? So this is a take 2 from my live I just ended, which I don't know. I think it's still showing as live. So yeah, hopefully that figures itself out. But welcome in, guys. I will see your chat on screen here just through YouTube. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Let's see. All right. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. Hopefully it's not too noisy. If the background noise is too much, because I live in the city, so definitely gonna be traffic and all the things. But you're laying in bed. I love it. Hear me loud and clear. Awesome. Well, and this should be less choppy as well. You know what I mean? Because it's just right from YouTube. Anytime you're using extra software and all that animation and graphics and stuff, bogs it down. Woo! Celebrate. Celebrate good times. Oh, meow, meow, meow. Nee, nee, nee. Hey, 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 mod extraordinaire. That bitch over there. What's up, girl? Thank you for coming in both. Appreciate you too, Mittens and more. Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, I gave up the other stuff. So as I was saying, what I think nonsense is missing a lot of is that a lot of us didn't know that we had to care so much about the same exact things, I think is what it is. I think a lot of us didn't know that, we just had to take on the same stuff. I think we all understand that we all have our own lives, right? So even if like creators get along together, everybody has their own lives, their own families, like their own real lives. And not everybody's real lives are incorporated into, wrapped up into YouTube. So you got to find time that it's separated, in order to do it. And on top of that, some of us get interested in other content and whatnot. So I'm just kind of reflecting back on when this all started and when I remember first hearing the jabs taken and whatnot to other creators. And I think just what she just was missing was that a lot of us didn't touch the Julie stuff because we didn't want to be any more involved in it. Some people might have not wanted to give any more publicity to Julie. So now, Julie, if you hear this, I hope you go back and listen to the last live because I'm not going to repeat everything, okay? So if anything sounds harsh, please go back and listen to that because I'm not being mean, all right? Now, but I mean, I'm just thinking, I watch everything and I get it. I don't, just because like necessarily I'm giving somebody a chance at the time, doesn't mean I don't understand why somebody still may or may not have feelings, about that person. So anyway, I'm doing the things where I'm not naming people. So Straightforward, I don't think nonsense, just really registered that A, even if I had time, even if I was interested, I wouldn't have covered it. I wouldn't have covered the Julie and Brittany and Craig court stuff. I just wouldn't have. It was all too convoluted as it was. I think the court can work itself out. I understand the law and both laws, all laws that were used, and it will be what it is. I don't mind necessarily the FOIA and going over it. I can't imagine why I would, really, because we watch that kind of stuff all the time, right? And just going over it and like reading it out, or some, because you gotta summarize it when it's not like public. Doing that is fine because it's like public information. Okay. And there were other people that were kind of, being roped in and involved, but maybe a lot of us didn't want to be one of those people. That names got added. And maybe we're just smart, like, I just wonder if we're just like really just smart about it. I wonder if we just didn't cover the Julie Court stuff because we're super smart. You know what I mean? Like, come on, girl. So I don't think that was the reason. I just don't think it was, because unless she was just so blinded and turned immediately into some manic state of sorts, I can't imagine that she missed that big part of it. That, like, if you think what she's doing is nuts, why are you covering it so much and wanting so many other people to cover it? I get that, like, you want to bring awareness to it. Do that with your voice and your numbers and your channel, right? And anyone that you kind of quote unquote work with, the earthies, the whoever's that can assist you in this. But to put that any type of weird demand on top of anyone else, and anyone who's been either kind to Julie in some way or has given Julie a chance, or whatever, is weird as F to me. It's weird. It's weird that she expected anything, honestly, frankly, but it's weird that she expected this jump on it, because my idea was, like, I mean, honestly, you gave Julie what she wanted. Julie wanted covered. Yay. Congratulations. While the rest of us sat back and were like, yeah, she's really like making a weird move there. And maybe we just didn't want to call you out on it. Maybe we still we still supported you in whatever you were doing. But then, the moment anybody goes in and disagrees or anything, for me, it was different. I was clarifying what happened with Jay trolling, since I was, on panel that day and would know more than nonsense. Imagine that. And I got timed out for that. So definitely not butthurt, but it told me a lot. So I don't think I would care what she has to say anymore. You know what I mean? If you don't care what I have to say. So, but anyway, the whole thing is weird from the beginning of the jabs. Like, why aren't you jumping on this? Why aren't you going for it? And that's kind of where a lot of the jabs started. And I like, why? But I just think the big thing she's missing is that a lot of us didn't want to bring any more attention to it. We wanted to kind of quietly, organically watch it happen. Nonsense was the one who wanted to fuss with it and unturn it and roll it around and turn it into 1,000 other things and make it confusing for the community when it was a lot more clear. So I don't know if she's still doing that, because like I said, I've blocked certain people out here, so a lot of stuff's not coming up. But I just hope that the community is kind of recovering a bit from this. I definitely wouldn't say um, you shouldn't have less trust, because you should always have less trust. But it's just been weird. So I appreciate y'all listening to that. But that's just what I sit here and say, and what I've been saying in other chats. So I'd rather just say it on my platform, is that I just think she was missing that. That a lot of us just and here's the thing, like, if you don't like, a lot of us didn't watch Julie before, and I even said that. I didn't, even when I was wanting to do like funny stuff with Julie, like, I didn't, if I popped into her live and it was anything other than that, I couldn't watch it. I can't watch people cry. Like, I some of the stuff, like, either just was just not something I would typically watch. Some of it was entertaining, and I could see why people watch. But a lot of the lives didn't. So if we didn't watch her initially, why are we going to want to watch somebody on a review? So the fact that, like, Nonsens just thought this was a bone and was kind of like just like took her ball and went home because nobody wanted to play with it is weird to me. What do y'all think? I don't know. Let me catch up, because I've been on and on and on and on and on. Mitten Zimmer says, choosing to be friends with someone doesn't mean we are doing shit behind the scenes. It simply means we are supportive of each other. Girl, I am so tired of that. That was the other thing. Okay, so there's the Julie thing, but then right before that, the reason was crama and the crama reels. And like saying as fact how it's just connected with shit behind the scenes to certain people. And it's just not true. And the reading into things is bizarre. So yeah, I felt the need to definitely show that, yeah, I don't know what we're talking about, because y'all do the most behind the scenes. What do you mean? And that's the thing, that's almost like a Brittany J move. Like, well, I didn't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. But no, you did. I mean, you don't have file cabinets. You don't have Facebook stuff. You don't come from a drama Facebook community. You don't come from that, which is all that is, to then having, people's Facebook information, looking at all of it. I mean, Nonsense. That's how, like, Brittany J started digging on Clue and Cletus, right? Way back in like May, June, July of 2024, doing lives, showing her Facebook photos, her and Cletus, their tattoos, zooming in on them, analyzing them. Isn't that weren't you covering Brittany J at that time? And like not liking that about her? Weird. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. Maybe some of us will just ignore the Julie thing and do other things. Oh, it's windy out. Ooh. Sit out on the sun stuff. Ooh. Much better. I have so much stuff to do, guys. I was going to sit here and go through my beads while I went live and talk to you. And I was like, beads are also some nice ASMR. It's not my job to report on my streams or to give a shit. For real. Julie wants to do this to protect herself. Who am I to talk her out of it? Well, I mean, you can't talk Julie out of anything, And I mean, if you have a conversation with Julie, which is my thing is like, I feel much more comfortable speaking on something as fact if I experienced it myself. So that's kind of like just how I roll in life, right? It's the same thing with the quote unquote DV reports, or we should actually say it's Craig's police reports that Earthy was trying to show me, right? I did look at them because so many people were talking about that stuff at the time. And I didn't want to be out here, frankly, even making jokes or parodies, which I wouldn't do about like the abuse, but I'm saying like, I wouldn't want to even in chats be like saying this about a guy if it wasn't true, right? I didn't want to accuse someone of something. And then B, I just wanted to know, like, if it's true, like people are out of here talking about if it's fact or not, like, what's the case, whatever it is. And like what Earthy was saying was true. You know what I mean? Like, well, wait a minute, let me see for myself. Cause you just read out a date and that doesn't sound like Craig would even be old enough for that. So of course, then I looked at it. But there's just a lot of things that you're going to want to experience. So you can just speak on it. And so a lot of people did have a conversation with Julie just so they could understand and speak for themselves, and not just be that person that's the hearsay person, or developing the same opinion when you've never even had a conversation or understand. But like, I totally get you can't, you couldn't even have talked Julie out of it no matter what, I listen to the stuff that, Julie was saying about it, and I listen, understand the law. But when even listening, I understood like A, I couldn't get much words in, and B, like she has attorney, as far as that, like I understood, or an attorney, somebody that she could consult with, whoever. So there was nothing I could do, you know what I mean? And there's nothing I should do, I think at the time she just needed me to listen. And that was it. And she didn't ever judge really that I wasn't down with it. So let's see. Hey Jinx. I've heard her say so many times she does not have to call certain behaviors or cover certain things, but she expects others to. Exactly. Because like because she's always been the person to do that. So I've watched over the years, people bring stuff to her and, she's like, well, why do I have to do this? And y'all know a lot of that was a Jay business, right? I never thought that she had to, I never thought her not going after Jay was weird. I thought it was more of like, almost like a, lack of better words, like a professional respect kind of thing, not necessarily an agreement. Is my mic on? Not necessarily a formal agreement, but like, I don't know, just like kind of like a courtesy thing for like have been friends of sorts, whatever. And that they didn't really have a disagreement necessarily. So that's how I kind of took it. What I did find weird is just certain comments I would hear along the way. And I would legit like spidey sense, hair going up kind of thing, where I'd be like, wait, what? Where she would just make a comment about, she would just bring up like, so what if I text Jay? Or, it would just be like things like that. Whether Jay and I are friends, like is none of your business, type things like that, and it was just like never, like just very purposely never confirming that she disagreed with Jay whatsoever. You know what I mean? It was just, to me, that was clear. And then it was starting to be the comments I was hearing of how what Jay did, trolling, and was blown out of proportion. And I clearly, absolutely disagree with that. And I can't imagine why she thinks that she would have any more insight into that than the two people that were on panel, but of course she does. So, oh, my neighbor's leaving. Their car is a little loud. But a lot of people have just been kind of sitting on their hands, you know. I don't have any like, and I don't think she cares, but I don't, have any ill will towards nonsense whatsoever. Um, but I don't like, and maybe we're guilty of this because maybe we didn't notice it when it wasn't, towards us, I guess. But like, definitely don't like the insinuations that, and I don't care for me necessarily, but that people are working behind the scenes and that they're dangerous. Okay, I'm hearing that a lot. I'm hearing these terms. I've heard it with Julie. Now, you could totally, I'm sure, make a case either way, but in terms of like, really, like in the grand scheme of things in the world, okay, what Julie is doing is not dangerous. It's not dangerous, girl. It's not dangerous. Do you know what that word means? Do you know how serious that word is? Do you know that when you put out an alert of danger, it should be accurate and an actual emergency situation? Do you? Because, like, you were, not work. I mean, I don't know what the term is, but like, you cover, you do stuff. You don't call yourself an advocate, right? You don't call yourself, whatever. You're just an asshole. But like, you definitely cover missing kids cases or true crime cases. And so I think we should have a little bit more responsibility with those terms, okay? And then a lot of the stuff now, like talking about truth, about being dangerous. Bitch, stop. Okay? While there are men platformed out here with actual violent records, and I mean men, okay? You're going to talk about truth, who has never been violent or has ever been accused of DV ever. Not even accused. So, but there's some other men out here with actual records. Hmm? Other people, and there's other women out here too, right? There's other women out here with violent records. Okay. The things they might say or do could be dangerous, but like, even with records, that's somebody's past, right? So like, what are you doing? But I just think we gotta be a little careful with that. So I'm so behind, guys. I think Nonsense tried to weave truth in the Julie ship because they refused to publicly make Julie enemy number one. KT, very good point. Very good point. Yeah, I think there's a lot of elements in it. And that's why I kind of like was reflecting on the start of like the jabs taken with the Julie stuff, right? Because like I feel like the crama reels and cram stuff was not successful, right? I feel like that was a big flop. Does everyone agree that was a big floppity flop? Like that just fell right on its face. Right on its face. And while a lot of people scrambled and it was all figured out, right? And it was figured out that they were doing the fuck shit. No one else. No one else. And the people who did pass on any information didn't know they were doing fuck shit at the time. They were passing stuff on. Like a lot of people do, right? Wackadoodle. But, so that like fell flat. And then I think the Julie attempt was made. But like that's where I really jumped on, because I was like, no, 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 because like I legit personally know from both sides that that's not the case at all. Like I have been in enough truth's lives where nonsense cannot claim the same, right? Right, girl? You can't claim the same. So, see, this is how you get like facts and evidence and experience and stuff like that. So, I'm in enough of his lives that I know how he feels about Julie. I've watched him ignore Julie. I've watched him say no. I've watched him even block Julie for a while. And then I've also been on the phone with Julie and I've heard Julie talk about truth and talk about how she respects him, and she, but at the same time she's saying, I think he just hates me, and I know he doesn't want to talk to me, but and she's talking to me like that because she knows I'm, quote unquote closer to truth. And so she's like, not that I think she's necessarily thinking of that, oh, let me use sane to like get the truth, kind of thing. But like, she's letting me know she's fond of him and what she likes him and because she wanted to talk to him. You know what I mean? And I think she was being honest as well. But she was talking about how, she just respects him out here being an adult with autism and, doing what he does and being an entrepreneur and all the different things. And we got to talking about that and, my oldest son and whatnot. So, we talked about autism a lot and how, I've looked at truth in that way. And I think it's very respectful and da da da. So we've had that conversation, but it was very clear, okay, that Julie was not talking the truth. It was just very clear. And she wanted to talk to him. So, I mean, that wouldn't make sense, right? So it just wasn't the case. And many of us tried to say and tell. And it was very obvious she didn't want to hear it. Okay. It wasn't that Nonsense didn't see it or didn't notice it or was just like, I'm going to be stuck in my thinking. No, no, no. No, no, no. She didn't want to know because she probably didn't want the anxiety of having to battle anything conflicting. But that failed, right? And so, like, now what do? We just went full force. We just went full force with the nasty talk and then, let it out there. Finally let her mask fall. Is that what happened? I mean, because what else is there, really? I mean, I went through weeks of like being in Discord, cracking up, like not watching their shit, her earthy shit, but like clearly they're watching Discord. And I'm just like talking shit in the Discord. I'm not even watching their shit. And they're like commenting to me in their chat and stuff. And to a lot of us. So like, what is it really for? Is it really important work? Is this really important community awareness work? Is this what we're really doing? Is that what like the air raid sirens are for at the start of all the shorts? Boop, boop, boop. I have absolutely unsubstantiated evidence coming through right now on the globe. Here we go. Breaking news, breaking news. I am an idiot. All right. Glitters forever. I can't with Julie either. I never could. See, exactly. She's always rubbed me the wrong way. I miss a lot of anything that went on because usually if she wasn't in a chat or on a panel, I would leave. Exactly, Glitters. I actually did the same exact thing for a long time because my stance was I will probably make snarky jabs and I don't want to do that to the creator. You know what I mean? So I just would exit. And I find myself doing that sometimes now. Like I don't want to constantly make snarky jabs about certain creators. But at the same time, yeah, I didn't even want to, I just wasn't interested. I just was like, ugh. I get it. And I would say that to Julie. Charming says, I didn't watch her then, and I'm not watching her now, and I will never forget or forgive nonsense for false statements and accusatory bullshit. Girl, that's it right there. Because I'm telling you, like, I didn't get it like a lot of people did, you know, in terms of the name calling, the, blatant accusations that just legit weren't true. And a lot of us knew aren't true. Don't even have to ask. Not true. Um, just stuff like we all experienced actually, like firsthand. So, no, like, I can't imagine why you would do that to people who actually supported you for so long. Like, not just supported you, like, monetarily, which we all have, but I mean, that's our choice. No love lost there. But like in terms of like supporting you and always talking positively, in saying like, oh, you should go check out, so and so for this or that, sharing your stuff, using any kind of reach we have to grow your reach. So it's kind of weird with people that have always been played, but who just came with some different information. Why we would just be such a bitch all of a sudden. I mean, I don't care. It's YouTube. Like, anything goes, right? I mean, and I don't even care if, like, that's how you are. Like, if that's how you are, just don't. I'll choose to watch it or not, right? All right, let me catch up a little bit. KT says, back in February, Nonsense actually said Jones and Proved Truth docs himself. That's the kind of facts Nonsense uses. Exactly. That's a great point, KT, because I've been seeing that a lot. And I did question that before the quote unquote split. And those were lies I just wouldn't watch, and I wouldn't give any credibility towards for Nonsense. And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think somebody has to be on point every single time. I'm okay if people get things wrong. It'd be nice if they fixed them and owned up to it. But I mean, especially for like, now, if somebody's a professional podcaster, all right, this is their career and they have thousands and thousands of subscribers, I do expect a little bit different. But if you're out here, you're doing this for fun, it's a hobby or a secondary thing, whatever it is, even if you are monetized, I get that you're not going to come on here and just be 100% all the time. You're not going to come out here. You may not have time to look into something or whatever. For me, I wouldn't put it out there if that was the case. But I know not everybody's, going to do that, and I'm okay with that. I don't know. I like that song. But yeah, you're just gonna I'm cool with that. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, you could come on here and you could put out crap, and then the next time, I'll actually be like, all right, that's legit, and lend credibility to that. You know what I mean? But I did start to notice that. I started noticing her using people like the crama reels, using Lady Freedom, using Madison, using, I don't know, all kinds of these people that you're literally in the other turn saying that they're lying or scamming or whatever. They're bad people, right? But the biggest thing is that they're liars, right? So why are we using their stuff as if that's a receipt? You know what I mean? And to use Jones and stuff, are you serious? The one that you quote unquote battle with all the time? You're to use what she said as facts, which obviously they had no clue. Charming says she went from covering BHB to Beach to covering Clue and Cletus, back to Beach, then Clue, Cletus, Truth, and myself under the guise of Julie. That's interesting. I like the way you put that. Yeah, exactly, Glitters. Glitters says, that's how I am. I want to look shit up for myself, even if I never ever speak on it, just so that I know for me and so I don't say something that's way wrong. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's how I try to roll. And I mean, I have to say, it causes me to never have to backpedal, causes me to not have to, you know, eat much. It causes me to um be able to stand on everything. And that's just important to me. So little Jesus, don't be like me. Grr. Make sure you're on all messages. Exactly. All messages. Oh my god, I'm so Who's who's enemy numero uno? Who is this? Me? I definitely haven't heard it. Hey Vixen, what's up? Good to see you. What's up, sweetheart? Thank you for coming in. Thank you guys for being here. Hey, Clear and Candid. Julie reminds me of an old lady in the Bronx that sits on a stoop and knows everybody's business. She's absolutely harmless, a pain in the ass, but harmless. She could definitely be a big PETA. I could see that for sure. But that is such a good point. Like, especially like in New York, you know what I mean? Like, there's always somebody who's, I don't know, just like the peeping through the bonds, whatever. There's always just people who knows everybody's business and make big hoopla. Yeah, really. That's what I mean. Like, the dangerous is too much. Hey, Kenna, what's up? Good to see you. Beautiful. Bama. What's up, Bama? Thank you for coming in, Bama G. Yay. Oh, look at you, talented with those emojis. I love it. And Daria for me said, I don't even know what all that crema and crama stuff even was. I know, right? Right? That wasn't even like easy to follow. It wasn't clear whatsoever. It was a hot mess. It's all over the place. Like, I feel like we used the Lady Freedom voice message thing of that mini lady who's really the crama rails. I feel like we used it to out the crama rails. Then we used it to then we used it against, right? Against other people. So I don't know how can we do that with one receipt? How? it, is it when it can be folded into a narrative? Is that how we do it? And Jeremy says, what everyone fails to see is that they didn't pass on anything that was wrong. Just because we didn't send it out to her or anyone else doesn't mean anything was false. They also didn't do half of it. Yeah, if it was actually true. I'm so behind. Oh my God. Okay, I'm almost caught up. Do we feel better now? Was that one of my spazzes? Was that one of my song spazzes? Is that what you were talking about, Charmy? That's the problem. Kenneth says that's the problem. Nonsense had no clue what the laws were or who was involved in the first place, i.e. prosecutor. Exactly. That was from the very beginning. When allegedly speculating and nonsense were looking at it, I said, and I had already had a conversation with Julie and asked the questions I wanted to ask. And so I understood what the charges were, the different ones, and what the laws were, like what the statutes they were based off of. And what the parameters were. And they kept focusing on the threats and whether they were actual threats to life and And I'm like, but you're missing it because that's not what's required for the cyber harassment. And whether you agree with it or not, you're just not accurate about that. You know what I mean? You might disagree with the law. You might disagree that that can be, but like, that's not our problem. That's not anyone's problem, here. So yeah, it was just so weird. She said it with the same person who actually Yeah. Oh, yes. She said it with the same person who actually doxed him in her chat. Oh my gosh. Hey, baby Firefly. What's up? Good to see you, love. I'm forever. Happy feet. Aww. I hope you're doing all right. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming out every now and then and popping out and saying hi. So Jeremy says, personally, I think that Madison account is nonsense. I know everyone thinks it's Joneson, but little things here and there causes me to think it's nonsense. Interesting. Interesting. I never thought it was Jones. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get that vibe. Like, I just don't get Joneson from it. I don't know how I can describe it exactly. But like her style, I don't know. I could totally be wrong. But what about like, I don't watch them, but I know a lot of people do. What about like Wendy V, like her co-host? Because like I saw someone say they thought that Madison might not be American, and that makes sense. But yeah, I could throw a name out there, but I'm not going to. Not yet. Not yet. But I like thinking about the things you guys say. Huh. Nonsense. Could be. I don't really have a strong case for it not being. What about like one of Jay's people? Of course, we're just speculating. We're not making accusations out here. Never on SaneOutlaw. Never would we do such things. Thank you guys for hitting the like. I really appreciate it. I know you guys hit on the last one too. And I restarted, so thank you guys so much. But I was like, I always want to go live in the morning because nobody's on, right? Because like I hate that. I don't like going. That's the biggest thing, right? And I know like everybody's like, oh, and I don't. It's not that I care, right? But like I'm usually interested in when somebody else is live, so I want to watch it and participate. Like that's more what it is. So I always want to do it in the morning, and I'm like, I was doing some other stuff, but I'm like, I can do like an hour. You know what I mean? I gotta try and do that more so we can get some of this out. And I don't have to type it all. She says, Charmy says, it's possible. I do know Clue says nonsense is in Jones's Discord under an alt. I don't see her being Jay's because of how she's been. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, because like my original thought was a great team member, 100%. I didn't think Jones in for some reason. Like I said, not that she can't be, but I did. My initial gut was that is definitely great team. But I mean, do Jay and Jones really disagree? I don't know. Like, who knows? I'm just like, I'm going to stop trying to figure out like who gets along and who doesn't. Because I'm going to be honest with you, like it would take way more things to convince me that this isn't how it's been the whole time versus like Nonsense had some kind of like weird awakening of some sort. It just like that doesn't logically make sense at all. And the incorporation with Earthy and everything, and then looking at it with the timeline of like when Earth was last messaging me, and when Earth kind of like lost interest, but then came back with interest, you know. Um, and I noticed the waves like up and down, like when people would, you know, especially if I had been in truce recently, you know. Um, and I kind of always felt that, like, I always had that vibe, like, because I supported Clue or Truth, like, I always had that vibe that, like, Nonsense felt weird. So I think that was just always how it was. And I mean, she was basically saying that. So, yay, happy feet here. Someone drop a spell. I think somebody's been doing some weird, like dark pagan shenanigans out here. I'm gonna say it, guys. I don't even know if we can blame Samuel anymore. I don't know, unless like every time Nonsense does a live and has incorrect information, Samuel is then respawned. I think we should put that responsibility upon her. I'm just saying, like, give it a try. Joneson has tried a clip channel before, but failed. Yeah. See, I think it's like maybe like slightly too put together for Joneson. You know what I mean? Like, I maybe that's what it is. Not that like she gets stuff right and she doesn't clip stuff out of context. You know, some of her stuff, you know, she has points to. You know, 100%. Not gonna not say that, but it's a little, you know, I think it's just a little visually polished for Joneson. Let's say she kind of just comes on and goes live. That's what I get. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of people a lot, but like, you know, I'm just thinking like, I think Nonsense is just missing the picture. I think she was so, and I guess that was one of the things too that had upset, because like, you know, there's the people who like to just screenshot out there and run in tattletale. But I guess I had said, you know, and I said I think Nonsense would agree, because like basically I would say this to Nonsense's face, and I said this in Granny's chat on Kick. So I guess I spoke a little too freely there and wasn't like sucking Nonsense's ass. So the Dina Weeks person screenshot me and then, you know, tried to call me out Nonsense's chat about the nasty things I said in Granny's chat. But she wouldn't actually say anything. So I'm like, what are you talking about? So I figured it out, you know, and the only thing I'd said was about her that she micro focuses. Are you going to tell me you don't? Like, what? Girl, I think you would 100% agree that that is a condition of yours. So like, let's stop the cap. All right. So yeah, I totally think that. But yeah, that's what I had said. But she was like so consumed with it that she's like, hey, I just don't actually see that, like, maybe people just don't want to bring any more attention to Julie. Did you ever think of that? I know I had already went through all this and said this, but like, I think she literally missed that part. And she just took everything and ran with it, because I think that was just her plan. I can't imagine it was anything else. Like, why would she block and time out so many people that were just saying, hey, that's not the case, or hey, no, I didn't talk to that person, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I put out my DMs with Kramit So she literally said that I didn't engage with it. So like, so I'm out here putting out stuff. I'm saying this and that. I roll with Charming, and but Charming's doing fuck shit, and I'm cool with it. Like, you don't make sense. You know what I mean? You just don't make sense. So like, I don't know if like that puts a little wrench in it. Like, I just, I don't understand. But like, I just kind of wonder. I do wonder a little bit, like how it would have went had I not put out Earthy's messages and like stopped pretending that we're cool. I'm just curious, but I was way more curious to see what would happen after. So that's all. I think Samuel got to nonsense. I unsubbed when she started getting angry and trying to tell people how to feel. Tip, F you nonsense. Hey, Lucia, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. I mean, that's it. But like, I'm going to say this, okay? And I'm not saying this as a Billy badass, because we all know us badasses out there don't have to say that we're badasses, right? But Earth knew what she was doing, okay? Earth knew fucking with me was a gamble, right? Right, Earthy? You knew that. You got a very good idea early on that it would totally be like playing craps, right? That if you probably stayed as you portrayed, everything would be fine, right? But what would happen should you just decide to show yourself? You know what I mean? So I think you knew, all right? Um, you know, obviously I'm not going to go out here and say that every DM with me is going to be sacred, because the way I work is anything I say, whether private or public, I would stand on. Now, if it's something personal, like about like my personal life, my like medical, something like that, which like would not be in a DM, it just wouldn't be there. But like, let's say if that were the case, then yeah, it'd be awkward to have that stuff put out, right? But other than that, if it's anything about like anything on these streets, anything like that, anything about anything, right? It don't matter if it's private or not. So that's like how I work, right? Now, I don't sit here and ever screenshot things ahead of time and assume that this is going to, be some kind of fuck shit ever. And I don't in group ones, because to me, I think that violates the agreement. However, I am not ashamed. Okay. There's a part of me that wants to feel a tiny bit bad about putting out DMs. And I think that's because like those people want me to feel a little bit bad about it, but I don't. Um, and the reason being, and that take it as what you will, I definitely lost subscribers after that, and I don't care because I know exactly who those people were. So I think it worked well. But no, I don't feel bad, because here's the deal. Like, I am a really like true person to the way I act, to what I say, to what I do. And if you are doing fuck shit and you're pretending that you're not, and then I find out that you are, and it has affected other people around me more so, right? Or releasing something could help somebody else, I will 100% do that because you were the one being deceiving, right? So, like, I'm not the shady one for putting it out there, right? Like, you were the one doing weird stuff. So, like, I didn't approach her. I didn't approach her with any of the stuff. I didn't ask her about any of it. Didn't ask if you could do this. Didn't ask, let's do this. Like, none of it, right? So, I don't. I just don't. I mean, don't. And I would do it again. And I'm glad I did. So there's that. And I'm glad other people felt empowered too as well. Um, which was the idea is that there's there's a bit part of me because I know Queen really disagrees with it. And I think that's very honorable of Queen. And maybe a little part of me wishes that I had that good trait as well, but I don't. But I'm glad that Queen has it, you know? Um, but I don't think people should feel ashamed for it whatsoever if you're exposing somebody. I mean, frankly, afterwards, it obviously was a good call, right? Because now I have heard from Clue, Charming, and I know because you've all said this publicly, so I know you won't mind me adding you. The Crama Reels, and oh crap, there was one more. There was one more, and I don't want to miss say the person in case it was somebody else. But it's at least 5 people that have come out and said publicly that she deleted her messages from their DMs, like on her side, after I put out mine. So clearly she's worried about a little something. So that's all. Like, you know what? Let whatever happens after that. Let whatever scatter after that. But she knew like what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like she knew what she was doing. She knew who she was dealing with, and you took the gamble, right? And maybe if you wouldn't be blatantly trying to place people in things they aren't when you are in even dirtier things, then I wouldn't I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have had anything to say about it. Because like there's a lot of stuff, where I sit there and look at it and I'd be like, oh, well, that's not what they said to me or whatever. But like, I would never put it out because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So like, I think anybody who knows, like when they talk to me about something, like they know it'll stay between us if it needs to be for whatever reason. And that's the way it is. And yes, nonsense. Sometimes that needs to happen. Uh-huh. Not like secrets or anything, but like, you know, sometimes that needs to happen. Okay. I'm just saying. Let me catch up. Jamie just comes out here. Nonsense, this is an asshole. Well, she says she is, right? My life is too short. Mittens and Moore says, my life is too short to worry about non-important shit. I care about Julie, and I want Julie to feel safe. But not even Julie cares if I go and take up battles for her. This is insane. Exactly. Like, Julie wasn't offended that we didn't take up for her. So, like, why are you? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. Aw. Mittens, you have a very blessed weekend as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Charmy says, what told me this was all set up was when we went to look and she had literally deleted all her messages she sent. Exactly. So I'm just assuming I was one of those people that was supposed to be approached. I'm just assuming that because of just you know, supporting truth. Clue maybe too. I don't know. But I assume. I mean, come on. Like, that's what that's what I think is really telling is the deleting of the messages with so many people afterwards. Like, why? Why delete what you say? Well, I obviously predicted she would be that kind of person. I snagged that shit. Is that maybe she's mad? Oh, is that what it is? Is she mad? Is she mad? Is she mad that I was a step ahead? Oh shit. See, and who even should have to be? Like that's the crazy part. Like that's the crazy part. Like I'm sorry, I couldn't do like all day discords. Like all fucking day. I couldn't do it, girl. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with you recording and then you're watching something. I'm supposed to be watching something so I can, tell you what I think on it. And then you're talking to me and then I got to look at the screen because you're sending me something at the same time. You are doing too freaking much, lady. Calm down. Just calm down. Okay? Calm down. All right? Oh, and I get it, Bama. I absolutely get it. A lot of people already went through this with her, and she showed herself, and everybody knows the kind of part and the history and all that. And I get it. I get that. Everybody's like, yeah, we all knew. We already knew. But is that really how the community was treating it, though? Because it seems like while a lot of people knew, right? And I'm not saying this is a bad thing because I clearly, I knew her side of it, I would say more than anything. So I would have to say that. I probably, yeah, because I mean, she definitely talked a lot about it. And I don't know how much I heard about anybody else's side of anything. So, except for like Queens, maybe like with the Queen Savage stuff kind of stuff. But I get that. But while Queen didn't obviously really trust her because of her past and just couldn't, I mean, blatantly from talking to her, I could tell that she literally was saying she was trying to earn Clue's trust. It's hard. And truth is like almost impossible to penetrate. Ah, I didn't mean to say that. Um, and I remember because I remember being like, look, girl, like, it, I'm sure they don't even trust me, but like my relationship, whatever it is with them has been a long time built, you know, it's not something that happens overnight. Um, because like I just legit enjoy them. So like that's all it's been, like I have paid for a membership for Clue for a very long time. And I was getting a free one from Queen for a long time, but I do for Queens too. And Truth when he was here. But I did that for a reason because I like legitimately enjoyed them and supported them. And that was my way, of doing it, with the memberships. And so like, but like, I'm not a mod, I'm not like whatever. So, but for some reason, there was the idea like you can use people to get in with people. But if you think about it, it's true. It does work, right? I mean, it worked for her for a little bit. It was probably going to continue working. And with her being under Nonsense's wing, let's say if all that hadn't happened or whatever, do you think she would have been more and more accepted? Now, here's my problem. It's not that I dislike Earth as a person, anything like that. It's not that I'm butthurt that, you know, she tried to use me or whatever it was. Like, that just is part of the, part of the skreets. Like, I don't have any, like, I want to get you, or, you know what I mean? Like, right now, it's just been laughing and, commenting on stuff, but, like, I literally still don't watch. But I just, oh, Arthie, I don't want to really talk to you, but it feels weird to talk about you in third person. Like, I blocked her. Like, I don't want to really talk to her, but at the same time, like, it's a big part of, the stuff that's going on. And with the information, that's the hard part, is like, it's not that it's like anything personal whatsoever. It's not even like about anything that like was between her and I. It's the fact that like she sucks, dude. Like, she sucks at the digging, at the and all that stuff. And like, if people are going to still take what nonsense does so credible and as receipts lady, right, in this community, and so many people use this stuff, it's going to be Earth stuff, and it's going to be wrong. And it's going to be like buried, you know what I mean? Because like nonsense is going to, nonsense, okay, Earth, toss me that clip, like whatever. Nonsense will put it out there and like stand on what she's talking about, but she's not going to stand on what was dug on necessarily the content that Earth did, none of it. She won't. But I found that not like, I don't want to use these words, dangerous. I found it a little freaky, okay? Not scary, but like a little like, kind of freaks me out for the community a little bit. I don't like that if somebody can't even read a police report, that they're out here trying to comment and be the authority on fucking anything. So, yeah. That was my main concern. Really. I mean, everybody knows, like, I hear a lot of pick me, but was that going to change? Right? Like, everybody all knew this. Like, everybody thought this. But if people didn't like just like kick the door down, you know what I mean? Like, was that going to change? Or was she going to get more comfortable? You know what I mean? Was she going to get more accepted? And to me, like, that means that there's going to be so much misinformation. And then it's going to be then credited behind nonsense. If you notice, ever since then, there's a lot less actual receipts shown, right? There's a lot of things talked about and said with nothing backed up. Why? Why? When there's file cabinets and servers and Rumble playlists and SD cards and just piles and piles and piles of backlog, transcripts, and FOIAs that we can't read correctly. Sorry. It's probably look, it's just over an hour, guys. It's probably about that time. I'm going into an ADHD spiral. I need to like make my hands busy. Oh my goodness. You hear my beads? But yeah, I did put out a short, guys. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna do a little stop promo. Go ahead and check it out. It's the most recent short. I did call out Charming in it. So otherwise known as that bitch over there. So you're definitely gonna want to check it out. I can't tell you anything else about it at the moment though. Glitters Forever says, I watch people for a while before I engage, and I came across a clue in truth when we were all over it. Tagos, and one thing I can say is that they have always been the same, never flip flop, right? And I don't mean like necessarily flip flop sides. I don't know if you mean that or not, but like, I mean flip flop, like, I mean in their like stances on things, right? How do you flip flop your stance on shit? That's a lot different. Because sometimes you might flip sides because that's where the stance goes, right? Right? Don't matter what the side's called. She's standing on that 2015 Facebook post of Truth's dad. Yeah, like what is that even about? Like, because I don't watch her stupid crap. I just, I've seen a couple reviews and like comments on it, but like she's trying to say Truth lied about the way his father died. Like, and you had to go to Facebook for that? Like, what if anyone said out here, people went and verified on Facebook? You think we should do that nonsense? Just anything people are just out here talking about? Because right, that sometimes people just do whole lives trolling. People do whole lives with satirical comedy where like some of it's based off of a little bit of truth, but you literally are trolling people because they're using you for content. You're aware of that, right? Because I hear you review. I have heard a recent review of you reviewing Truth, and it was sped up. It was very painful, all in all. Even hearing him was painful. But I hear when you review him, and I don't even, maybe it was somebody like reviewing him, but like, you're like, oh, yeah, well, sure. Okay. Well, yeah, like maybe you should do that. Ugh. And you're just so like negative and like Debbie Downer and just like, like total Karen like about the whole thing. When like half the time he's just fucking around. Like, you are taking everything seriously. Girl, that is your problem. I have watched it so much. You take everything literal. Everything. It's bizarre. But you're doing that. You're taking like stuff he said to just like laugh at the situations, like even like making a joke about New Jersey or whatever. And then you take that and use that as freaking evidence that somebody's working together. Like, that's weird, dude. You know what YouTube is for. You know. You know. You know. People have all kinds of shows out here, right? Because I don't want to remember. I don't want to remember the motorcycle helmet puppet. Because I really feel like if I had seen the puppet, that would have told me all I needed to know nonsense. I would have said, nah, that bitch fucks with puppets. Nah, dog. Ain't doing it. That would have been my my hard line right there. None of this would ever happen. Fuck. Damn it. Sorry. Watch my mouth. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna watch my mouth. Like, you're gonna watch my mouth. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Kind of like the moral standards. Like, who do y'all think you are? Honestly, like, get off the high horses. Who do any of y'all think you are? Who do any of you are? Even gray team. Okay. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. Hearts, all the things. Like, who the fuck you think you are? Like, would you don't decide a thing. And not only that, like, none of you live moral, upstanding lives. I don't want to say none, but most, okay? Most. Even nonsense, even earthy. Like, who the fuck you think you are? Like, really, are you pillars in your, are you pillars somewhere? Are you pillars somewhere that I don't know about? Because, like, from what we see how you ride a little low. You ride a little low. How low can you go? Who is Own Girl here? Where is she? Where is she? Where? I'm going through so carefully because I know Own Girl's here. Hey, J Fox, good to see you. What's up, love? You know how I know? Because the beads question was asked. She put you up to it, didn't she? She put you up to it. You know what? Did y'all delete it? I know Charming went and cover for her and delete it before I saw it while I was on a tirade. Glitters and forever. Why would you ask that question? You've been working with Own Girl behind the scenes. That's it. That's it. If I ever wanted to moderate my own channel, I would time you out right now because you're clearly working with Own Girl. Because that is what she thinks of. Those kind of beads when she sees my anklet. Okay? So you tell me you're not working with her. All right? Yeah, I think people are bringing things out just to hurt people at this point. Absolutely. KT says she has nothing else and knew with the haters it would work, and she had been building her audience up that he was incredible. I 100% agree with you that it has been being built up. Absolutely. And here's the thing. I think she's frankly pissed. I think she was pissed at Charming, Odin Girl, me, whoever else, any other Truth mods that came over, anything else. I think she's just pissed off that we didn't let the jabs fly. I think she thought that they were going to. I think she thought because he doesn't really watch her. I think she just thought that they were going to get through for a lot longer. And then when it came out and the blow up happened, it would have been fine because that was planned anyway. But I think it was planned for longer. I think Truth Mods, I think part of myself with Earth's business, I think Clue being as brave as she has been, and Crama Chronicles, Trisha, a lot of other people, Granny, I think a lot of other people, Queen as well, have treated everything afterwards in the right way. And I think it pissed her off. I think it really pissed her off that it didn't get to build longer. I think we took her nut, guys. I know I definitely took Earth's nut. Man, I took that out in one whole giant sack. Took it right out. And she feels very unsatisfied. So. Glitters this. I like Jeff Tournament as puppets. Yeah, but that's different. He's a ventriloquist, okay? And he's very good at what he does, and he's a comedian. He's very funny. A asshole with the YouTube channel with a motorcycle helmet on, like a speed bike helmet on, and a puppet doing skits. I mean, and you're gonna make fun of Julie's goal dancing, whatever the hell that was. Eee. J Fox says, I totally believe that. I just don't understand why they would dig on that and then use it like to taunt him, and tells people where to find it. Well, J Fox, because I think that's the stuff that they did the whole time, and I think unfortunately we didn't always notice, and I think a lot of it was done very carefully, and slyly, unfortunately. So, which to me is weird. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of us just don't put that much effort into this. I would rather like put effort into like looking up like, I don't know, like if there's like a missing alert out, I'd rather like look up, like, have they been found? Does it still need to put out? Does it still need to be put out? Like, following up on like stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I'm being a beach right now. Cause like, how like beach and reality like to say, well, why don't you be more or why don't you do this and this and this instead? Like, why are you so worried about me? Why don't you go off and do this and this? And like literally will say like a specific content to do or whatever. And like, bitch, why don't you? Like, who the fuck are you talking to? Who are you telling? Like, why don't you do that content? What are you talking about? Like, crazy. Yes, charming. I was just on those beads. Okay. And I launched my investigation. My goodness. Yes. Well, because I have to send Odin Girl anything about my ankles. I have to send it to her first before I let the public see. Otherwise, she feels like I'm just showing everybody. So I have to send it to her privately first and like real behind the scenes. And then, yeah, so like that's what ran through her mind when she saw my anklet. So I don't know how to feel about it. I just don't. How did truth get brought into it so viciously? Well, that's a good question, Glitters. I could definitely give my opinion on it. I mean, just kind of off the top of my head, what I think is that I think that there was that feeling and it was building so much almost towards a resentment. But I think they always felt that way. And I think it has been from when Truth and Jay were on that panel together. I forget who it was early on in the Sebastian case. I want to say web sleuth, but I want to say it's not that at all. But anyway, they were on a panel and it was a bunch of people and like Truth had come up and Jay felt that he yelled at her, right? And he had apologized, like all that, and they got over it, right? And then like when kind of Jay came into the dark side and whatnot, right? So I think it was just pretend. I don't think they ever got over it. And I think Nonsense was right there with it. I mean, I can't imagine she wasn't. I bet you there were conversations about it between her, the two of them. And I bet they felt the same way about truth. And I bet it was just like angry man, like, brr, 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 brr. And I don't think that that changed. I think that she pretended that it changed, but I think she always felt that way. And I think she 100% gave up everything she believes in because she feels strongly about it now, right? And how awful he is. But she gave up all that she believes in, all her integrity, everything, just to get along with other creators and for viewers, right? I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know. Why else would you? I mean, because I've heard you talk about a little bit where you're like, well, I just like did it, basically to get along, kind of thing. Why? Why? You didn't have to. Clue wouldn't have cared. She gets people don't like truth. She gets people don't like her. She would have still liked you. Or maybe we should say you could have still used her. I'm just wondering because I think that's pretty fraudulent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean like in a legal, like monetary kind of way. I just think it's fraudulent in general. So I don't know why you're surprised. Why a lot of people aren't really down with it. So like, see, like that's why I did what I did with Earthy, because I didn't want to pretend. And I saw she was jumping on the same micro focusing bandwagon. And I think the information that was going to be put out would have been very painful and laborious to strip down and uncover. Could it be done 100% and really not with much, difficulty whatsoever? But I think like there is some level of awareness that she knows like a lot of us are very busy and have lives and are just not going to maybe do all that. Or she will discredit enough that they won't be believed. Or their receipts won't even be believed. Or their voice will be none. Was that the idea? Is that a tactic of some sort to discredit and then, put out information that nobody knows any better to correct? Interesting. I'd be a little upset if people got in the way of that too. I guess if I was like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too bitchy. Maybe I'm being a little too like, I need to get up and run around kind of thing. But I just think there was just that big miss of that nonsense. What you don't get is just many of us didn't want to bring any more attention to it. And on top of that, should Craig be dangerous? Should he be? And should the court find him to be? I would not want to trigger anything, right? I just didn't want to interrupt the process. So I think that that could have been respected just as much as your absolute manic obsession with it. So we tolerated that, but how come we didn't get the same respect? Is it because we were just things to move out of the way? But for what? For why? Is it so we can get back on a like a redirecting type of thing on YouTube? Like, is it to grab up some audiences? Like, what is it? Because like you're not convincing. You're not really convincing people by using Julie. You're just not. I know you think you are, but so like what's next? Who are we going to play with next? Just to mess with Truth and Clue. Huh? Who? I'm willing to like wait for the mystery, but I'm just saying. So I don't know. Maybe some of us just need to be out here calling stuff out, more and not be afraid to, and not be afraid to say things. And now definitely be mindful. Okay. You don't ever want to put a sort of like neutral creator or a creator that's neutral on the topic. I will give that advice. You don't want to ever put them in a situation, that makes it harder for them. Right. So if you're taking jabs and making comments or using that opportunity when, like, let's say that topic isn't being covered to take jabs at a certain creator, that's where it's not going to be effective. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I very much try not to do that because I think that convolutes things. You know what I mean? So I will just say that, blanket that out there. But other than that, I think people just need to be like, nope, no, no, no. Uh-uh. I think we just all need to get on our high horses because clearly we need to be on a certain level to deal with this. Turlin, what you talking about, J Fox? Let's see. Charming says Earth was with Savage before she started with the cow stuff. She then went to Lemons. I have no idea. Actually, okay. Well, I mean, I have a little bit of an idea of that. So like she had a falling out with the DC crew. All right. And she was very reluctant to play over here because of that. And she knew that some of them may come for her, but I always got the idea that they had just did super dirty stuff. So like they probably wouldn't come after her because then she could like call them out, on stuff. I always had that idea. So she had a sense of like safety in a way to where like she knew Queen knew firsthand, but a lot of other people wouldn't. And she talked about it like openly, or not. I would say she talked about it privately to a lot of people and told her side of it. And it very well could have been whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. I tuned out a lot of it because my idea was, all right, well, if you're just not doing that stuff anymore, or you see like how these people are and you want to do like better content or you want to do better things, whatever, then like, okay, like, cool. Like, people fall into the wrong side of communities all the time. So like that, I just was like, okay, you move past that, whatever. I got it. But yeah, it there was a falling out because she was like Britney's mod too, even for a time. And the way she talked about it is like she was friends with her. She was friends with Britney. And but yeah, she definitely had a thing with Lemon, and then that fell out of some sort. And it had to do with that Legally Blonde girl or whatever. So What is that? Oh, you can show that. Narcissistic tactic. Yeah, I was thinking that, or like political, religious type of manipulation. Lil D said, weirdest thing to me is Jay and BJ being cool. Oh, that's not weird to me. It's not weird to me. Okay. Oh, what's the message? Sorry, I'm like looking at these messages. YouTube likes to hold up some messages. They're fine. You can release them. Exactly, Glitters. I love that. She says, I can't respect someone who audits everyone else's books while cooking their own. Yes. Boom. That right there. That right there. I got to read that again. I can't respect someone who audits everyone else's books while cooking their own. That's it. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I didn't care what it made me look like because I was putting DMs out there. I just didn't. The greater good to me was more important. And that's the biggest thing. And then that information, right? Those cooked books is now like being used as receipts out here. Nah. I'm not going to do it. Nope. I don't like it. And I don't think some of these people who do stand on truth and honesty, even some of the Islanders who I've always liked that stand on this, I can't imagine. But see, like, once they trust that information, like, you stop questioning it, you stop checking it, right? And you just start using it. And that's the dangerous part. Mins and More says, as a former DC, BJ is playing with fire right now, playing Wendy V and MM. Mark my words. She's been teetering on that with that and with the lawyer stuff and she doesn't seem afraid to go after people that most people stay away from for content. She just, you know what I mean? Like, that's clearly more important. I mean, shoot, I was trying to protect my family. I sure wouldn't, right? I'd be out here like, I don't know, doing anything different, anything. Nonsense. Putting up with Earth was never on my bingo card. We should have Bajango. uh, well, I mean, we like you saw it slowly happening, right? But like, I mean, well, Earth just tried. She tried with several people. She went through several people, and then nonsense took her in. So I'm glad she has a home now, and she's not out in the cold with no collar. So, I get needing to find a place. But like, we just don't want your shitty receipts out here. That's all. We just don't want them out here. Okay. That's it. Like, we don't want it out here as facts and like passed around and all kinds of creators using. I don't care. They can play your stuff, but like, we're not using it as receipts. Okay. We're just not. We're not using boom, 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 air raid sirens coming in as, this is something you got to see. Right? Because I could have went my whole life without seeing it, and not one cell inside me changed. All right? It's dramatic as fuck. And I get it. Like, you're from the drama community. I get it. But like, no, I just think like that's how it always was. And I think like, let's say it wasn't always that way, which I do think it is. But if it wasn't, then Nonsense was just so micro focused that she just missed the big picture of that. A lot of us just didn't want to we didn't agree with bringing more attention to it. And that means like we're that cool that we still supported you in doing it. Like that's the part, is like we're so cool, we're so freaking chill that we supported you doing it while not supporting giving more attention to it ourselves. And you still had a freaking problem. So what's wrong? What's wrong? Please tell us. It's the ships. Oh, they used it too? Yes, she uses those sounds. Yes, the intro of like all her stupid shorts with so I noticed like when we were talking, right? Okay, I'm just like, look, I'm fine with it. I think it's form flattery, whatever. And I'm not out here trying to say everybody's trying to be like singing, because that's silly. But while we were talking, I did notice like her shorts were slightly more adapted to look like mine. However, I never said anything because I was like, oh, she just does a shittier version, because she puts text all over an already texty recording. And it's visually a hot, steamy freaking mess. Okay? I don't want to help you, but my golly God, get rid of the siren and get rid of all the busyness. It's too much with your watermark of your AI cartoon of somebody with a COVID filtered, breathable cloth mask on their face. Like, because, okay, here's the thing, Earthy. Do you understand that those masks prevent other people from getting sick from you? Do you remember that? Do you remember how those work? See, they don't stop you from getting sick. Okay? Because if someone had a virus and coughed in your face and you had one of those on, the droplets would go right through it. It would go right through it into your mouth hole. It is to prevent yours from getting out and spreading. I don't know if you knew that, but I found it important. So. Yes, that mask. Yes, like those you're showing us that you are trying to prevent the spread of a virus from within you. And I appreciate that. Okay, I appreciate it. But anyway, you got that going on, the watermark, all the text you're putting over it, on top of the siren and music and flashing, because there should be probably a seizure warning also on there. I'm just saying, there probably should be. There should be a seizure warning. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old, but like I feel like she's not that much younger than me, so I feel like it can't be that. I thought maybe I was like, I'm just too old, and it's like, whoa, sensory overload. Like that's too much. But no, she's like, I think she's like young, early 40s. I don't know. Is she telling us she's the germ? Is she patient zero? Holy hell, Jujubee, she's patient zero. That's why Nonsense is using her. That's why it all freaking makes sense. She can't leave the island. She had to go there in quarantine. She's patient 0. And so her evidence is so valuable because it's in the purest form. Got it. Oh my God. It only took us 2 hours, guys. But we figured it out, so it didn't make nonsense look bad. Okay. We got it. We got there. I tried now. I woke up in the middle of the bed, okay, per usual, and because I'm the only one there and all my squishmallows. So I woke up in the very middle, surrounded by love, squishy love, and woke up right in the middle. And I was awaited by Greg the guinea. Well, actually, I saw Gary first, and he had knocked over his food water thing, which is typical. He does that, so I will go say hello. And he pretends he hasn't been fed. And then Greg starts making sounds, and I go over to him, and he's just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then he gets in his mountain, and he's like, "I'm ready." And he's like literally looking back at me like, "When you lifted me up." And so I took him and cuddled with him for a few minutes. So that could be what happened. Now, they are social, emotional, amazing creatures. So sometimes it's a soothing effect, and sometimes I popcorn. I do sleep in the middle of the bed. I don't know. I don't know. I have walls of pillows all around me. Maybe that's how. Although I will every now and then, I think I must dream, and I think it's because of also muscle memory. I sometimes do martial arts. I'm telling you a little secret. Sometimes I just kick, or like I'll do like an elbow, and I literally like will knock a whole table across the room and all that stuff. It'll be like the biggest disaster ever. I will just like barely move, and like I'll like chop something in half with my hand or something. Every now and then I will wake up and it will be like a rumble in the jungle. Like it's the Bronx in my room all of a sudden. And my sons even know, like they come in, they'll be like, "Oh dang, with that table, duty." I don't know. You act like I remember what I was dreaming about. Oh my. Those squishmallows get so much love. That does explain why I sleep alone. Oh, you do gymnastics routine when you fall down the stairs? I bet you have the most crafted landing. Like you freaking look like Spider-Man. I bet you land just like Black Panther. Stop the cap. I know it. You're like, dismount. Nobody saw a thing. I know. Do you ever like push open a door too hard and like everybody look at you and you're like, just like, oh wow, that just happened. Excuse me, door. Didn't mean to be so obnoxious. No, I love it. Or a lot of times what I use my stairs are for is to troll my boys. So like if they're acting up, I'll put on a really good jam, something they totally, absolutely don't want to hear their mother performing. Something, it's great if it's like old fashioned too at the same time. But I will come down those stairs with a microphone and I will work every step like I am in Vegas. So don't play with me. I will be a rock star and you'll be embarrassed. So I'm just saying. I was like, what was that? We want music? You wouldn't want me to sing? You must. Because there's no way you would be doing that if not. It's a good time. When they were younger, it was horror movies. So they wouldn't come in the room and I'd be like, well, go clean your room then. And I'll turn it off. It's just, it's just great tactics. But no, I do. I sleep in the middle of my bed every once in a while. Kung fu happens. I don't know. And Bruce Lee speaks to me in my dreams. And, but other than that, yeah, right in the middle. Every once in a while, like, I've worried about like scaring them for a game face or something. Oh my goodness, they're funny. But no, they were super cute. So I got a little cuddle with him. He was super cute, and I just it just did things, and went nuts. And then I had coffee, and then I did dishes, and it was only 7-something o'clock in the morning. And I did a couple shorts, and I accomplished more than Brittany J accomplishes in a month. So I was feeling a little zippy. But no, I didn't, that's why I'm like, I should just come on and talk and whatever. But like, I'm always so like, peppy and but like, I'm like, if I get really talking about somebody, I'm gonna be dragging a bitch, and I'm gonna be like, rah, 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 rah. And while every now and then that is needed, like I don't like to sound like that. I like to hear myself like that. Being bitchy. I just don't. And I think after so long, people aren't going to want to come on and hear about that, after hearing about it, from everyone else. Hey, Angie, good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good too. Your bed looks like it's already made most of the time. What? Really? See, even though I lay in the middle, like I I must do a lot of movement in a small space, like I'm camping or something. It's like weird because like I'll burrito, I'll get hot and cold, I'll do all kinds of stuff in that space, so that space will definitely need reset every day. Definitely. That's funny though. And Travel says, okay, you're freaking me out. I got up 5:30 and I've completely cleaned my closet, put everything away and towed. I've completely got all my diamond art separated. Shall I go on? Little MS legs working. Oh, girl. Yes. I love how you keep it moving like that and you stay so active. That's exactly it. I was like, you know what? And it was still like in the morning because like I was saying, I want to try to go live more in the morning because like that's when I'm more coherent, obviously. But also like I get wrapped up into stuff, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to stop, the stuff. Or people will pull me away. I don't mean my kids, just busy life. And or, I don't know, whatever. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I was just saying, Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And or somebody else is on by then, and then I wanna go hang out and, cut some laughs and stuff, or listen to the content, because I've missed so much of it. So, usually, I'll be like, "Ooh, I should go live," and then, like, by that time, it's later and, like, everybody else is already live at the time, and so I usually go, "Nah." And like I said, it's not, like, I don't wanna go live on top of people, it's just I wanna usually, it's because I wanna watch that person. So but I'm like, I should just come on in the morning and talk, but, you know, I'd like to do more, like, where, like, I'm out and about. Um, Downtown here actually used to block Wi-Fi signals. They were doing it for quite a while. Um, so I think that's lifted a little bit, so that should help, and that's because I don't know why, whatever, I just tend to notice those things, and there are a lot of government buildings and stuff around. But it's also in the area which I live, but I do wanna go to, like, some of the cool nature spots and whatever and do more, like, lives from there where you guys are, like, seeing some beautiful scenery, along with that, because I could just go on and it'd just be me and talk and whatever, but I think sometimes people focus a lot on facial expressions and stuff like that, which, like, I know adds to it as well, but it just, it distracts me personally as well too when I'm trying to, like, think about, what I'm saying. So did want to come on talk about that particular stuff, but it just got me thinking, you know what I mean, about just reflecting on it all after kind of all this has happened and things have calmed down ish a little bit. But I'm ready for Queen to come back because I keep forgetting to go on Rumble. And I want to because I want to check out Toasty too when she's on. But, like, I'm so ready for Queen to come back. I know all you are ready too. But yeah, I mean, it makes it kind of weird too when so many people are, like, out here and, like, reporting or doing, like, weird stuff just because you know, just because you fuck with another creator or something like that, or because you've maybe said something they don't like or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just silly stuff. So um I don't like to see people knocked for that. And I know people wouldn't want to see me get knocked for that. And as much as, like, I know I pay attention as much as I can to abiding by TOS and all that, you know, people get a bug up them. You never know. So everything said, of course, is in speculation. It's in theory. Nothing said here is for any other purpose but for informational, educational, or satirical. That's it. That's all. Yeah, like Earth, your stuff sucks. That's all. Okay. Just want to make sure we got that out there too. Oh yeah, Queen's she's been off YouTube this week. So just with, like, so many people reporting and stuff, so she didn't want to mess with it. So she was on Rumble, I think, for the most part. I don't know if she actually got struck. I don't know if she did or not, or if she was just getting, like, she was getting hit so much with reports. Like, a lot of times, like, creators are constantly getting their stuff hit as they're live, and they don't usually talk about it. They don't usually say it, and they usually are, while they're talking or whatever, playing something, they're usually responding to it. You know what I mean? So I think she does that a lot, and I think she clears a lot of them. Um, so I don't think she actually got, like, struck and taken down, but I don't know. I don't really know. Um, I just know that, she had said because of all that, she was going to take a little breaker off YouTube this week and just be on Rumble. Oh yeah, I would love to see the diamond art for sure. You saw, like, a little glimpse here between my unboxings, but then all my craft stuff, like, I'm literally surrounded in it. So I really got to do a lot of that stuff today. I got to do a lot of that stuff today. And then, I have to do a lot of videos on TT because I'm in the creator program there, and a lot of people send me stuff, and I like to honor the agreements. But yeah, I got to get a lot of those done. Look, I ain't gonna, yeah, but I could bedazzle the F out of some though. That might be like, shoo, there might be a market for that, right? Like if those like soft resin flowers could like be bedazzled on them or like sequins and stuff without the risk of them coming off, in use, I think that would be like, I think that would blow up. I mean, they do them on all different colors and things. So, I mean, why not? And I mean, I feel like it would add to the purpose as well. I don't know, whatever. Let me guess. Does her name start with an N? Does it make the N sound? Oh, she's been on Twitch. Thank you, Daria. I know. She said Twitch too. And I think I blocked out Twitch because like I have Rumble, but I don't have Twitch. So I was like, I can't download a whole nother app. I just can't. I can't. And I've never used Twitch before. So but I was like, I did have Rumble. So. Yeah, the narrow art Jules. What's up? Pretty is as pretty does. I love that name. I know, so many apps. That's probably why like the Prism streaming wasn't working great. I didn't clean out my phone great beforehand. I have so many apps. That's exactly nail art. Yeah, so you can see because I use nail art for the DIY crafts a lot. So I would totally use them for nails if I could keep, my nails grow pretty good by themselves, but like I've never been able to have fake nails because I just do too much stuff with my hands, and with training and stuff like that, it's very difficult. But also just like, I don't know. Anytime I tried, like I would scratch my kids or, it's just always a thing. So I like to do my own though. And I could totally add them to my own, but I use it for all kinds of stuff. So I showed that like little coffee thing I made, just a little something to put on the wall behind me. But no, I use them for tons of stuff for a lot. Oh, I know what I can show you guys. I was going to do a thing on it. Holy hell, I'm so glad you got me talking about that and I remembered. See, who knew that those kind of beads would bring us to this? Who knew? Fuck, I'm so happy. Thank you. Hold on. I need to do that. All right. Let me show you. Oh, I'm going to take it outside and show you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm doing a little excited dance. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Woo! Just kidding. A little bit. But I really am excited. Okay, give me a second. I'm coming. Let me attach my mic. Well, I'm not monetized, but I don't want to get like, I don't know how YouTube feels about that word. I just don't. And I don't want to. I don't care if anybody else says it. I don't care if I say it, but I just don't know how they feel about that one. It's funny. All right. I'll show you in the sun so you can see it good. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Now, my nails are not done at all right now. I don't even think they're filed. So, but y'all be fine. Let me see. Okay. Ready? What? What's wrong with my orientation? You're fine. Look at the keychains I made. Now, I made these from Scratchy Scratch. Okay. Hold on. Let me stop moving it like a crazy person. Oh, that's, you know what? This work. A little stand. You gonna clip on there? Ha! Shit. It's gonna happen. I just know it. Hold on. It's hard to do two things at once. No, it's not gonna be helpful at all. Here we go. Maybe you'll just clip. Good enough. Good enough. A little, like a real, like little tour of our new keychain here. Okay. This is our Labubu special. Okay. This is our Disco Boo Boo. Hold on, getting a phone call. How dare you interrupt this session? Okay, this is our little Boo Boo. And as you see, he's bedazzled up as an outlaw. Okay. And then he's also got some extra little adornments from this community. We have some cute little headphones. We definitely, it looks like Reality's been here for sure. Holy cannoli. And then, oh, we got a little more outlaw dangles. Oh, look at that. Well, he is on a scooter, guys. He is on a scooter, so that makes sense. Yo. Somebody playing basketball. Yeah, I'm the same way in real life, guys. And then this is our second one that we're going to attach to that and make a mega keychain. Okay, look at our cutie patootie. Look at her in her locale Gloria. Oh my gorgeous baby. Let's put it together. Let's do it. Okay. You like it? And let's see. Hold on. We're going to just... Now, I got to decide how low I want it to fall. Oh, sure. It's happening. Yeah. I think I'll clip it up here. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Don't get seasick. Okay. There she is. Look at her. Huh. Now, I'm not saying this is moon or not and nonsense or anything whatsoever. I'm just saying, you know, these are definitely crama inspired keychains. Don't they look like a chihuahua though? Look how cute. All right. That's enough, you crazy kids. Thanks. I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, if people don't get the references, they're just cute. Oh, bless. These are the things I do to entertain myself. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. So supportive. Oh, it's cute when you hold up the little wrist thing. Very cute. Very cute. I magically got the scooter and Labubu together. I don't even know how that happened. I don't think they were meant to be in a mix together. and it was just fate. And then I got the cow mix, and I can't say that I didn't get that intentionally. They gave her a hat. It's so cute. I love it. Oh, and it's just like Truth, but pink. So perfect. All right, guys. Well, it has been over 2 hours that we have been live here. And then we did that little 3D avatar blip of a live before that. But I cannot believe it. Thank you guys for being here. Oh my goodness. It's interesting because, like, I see like 40 some people have been pretty much hanging out with us. And I appreciate every single one of you. Whether you're just hanging, watching, you're coming through, you're scrolling through the verticals, you're hate watching. Hey. I just have to say. And if I'm ever put in a Netflix movie on this community, please let me play myself. Okay? It's not so I get the credit or anything like that, but like, I just think I could do myself the most justice. Okay? I think I can do it. All right? I don't think there's going to be anybody more animated. Okay? So I think you're one of those people watching. But other than that, I appreciate all of you. And thank you so much. And thank you for the likes. My goodness. If you didn't hit the like and you don't mind hitting it on the way out, I appreciate it. If you've been hanging and you're not subbed up, if you want to sub up, appreciate it. You'll get notified of any content. I do mostly shorts and videos. I do community posts. But I am trying to go live more, and actually coming up here real soon, I'm going to have more time, and I will totally be going live more on here and TT. So I don't think I'm going to venture too much in the kick unless I like dual stream or something like that. It's just not as like functional for me, for the type of stuff I do. But I'm still supporting all those people over there. But that's about it. I still try to post on X and everything, but I've definitely been less frequent on there, I would say. But I took a good like 2 weeks off of TT really. So I do have to spend some time on there. But I took some time off of there so I could, I'm not going to take away from my real life, right? So I could focus more on figuring out what was going on over here, Some of us, that's what we have to do, when we're just busy and we don't live like this. Ooh, sun catchers. Interesting. I actually, the one DIY boutique that I get a lot of like the resin flowers and like all the different like, themed stuff I get. They actually show doing those and the car hangers a lot. And I have a ton of the wire, of the metal hangers. And it's super easy. You just, you beat them and then you can adorn it more afterwards. But like, I don't know that I've actually like seen people using them. And that's what I was trying to like thinking in my head about the car hangers. I'm like, I know a lot of people like them and whatnot, but like, I'm like, I never see them. Maybe I just don't notice. I don't know. But like sun catchers, yeah, I could totally see that being useful 100%. And yeah, they actually do those with that. Shoot, especially with a lot of this stuff, especially with a lot of the beads I get because they're color changing or luminous or like the cat's eye. And then a lot of the nail art, which is sequiny and whatnot, is gorgeous. It just totally transformative in the sun. It's wild. Aw. Glitter says, thank you. And I had fun. I've been struggling with all this and new time to myself, my new role of me. I needed this. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing that. I think we all go through those times, you know, um, and it's hard because you've been one thing or one role, or, you've been busy with one thing, whatever it is, and then there's this like open, and you can like, wow, I can actually like do something for me. And then you have so many ideas, it's hard to pick one. So I totally get it. That's a good point. Yeah, it's very hard to hide there, I think. Very hard to hide. Because I guess the idea is to not, but if you just want to, like, it's like YouTube, though, like, right? Like, you can just be a spectator here. It's very hard to there. Whereas, like, I sometimes enjoy just watching stuff. Like, I will watch the shops I get stuff from, just watch them like do orders and things, because it's relaxing. Um, and I know a lot of people do that, but you know, it's not just all like super short content. Sometimes you just want to like consume there, not really participate. So, but I get like times where people are like, "Where have you been?" and da da da, and I think it's just because like I'm not as much in chats or something. I want to say, but it's just hard. It's hard to be in every chat all the time, and usually I rotate through creators um purposely, so I can enjoy everyone, you know what I mean? So like I might only have time to really like watch Clue every day, you know what I mean? But like I might skip her the next day and watch somebody else if somebody else is on at the same time, just to, you know, support everybody, whatever, or just get that information, or just to not be so like closed off, I guess, because like, you know, sometimes I just want to chill and laugh and, whatever. But like if I'm trying to figure out what's going on, then that's probably not a good idea, right? To just like just only watch your favorite creator all the time. You know what I mean? So it's just hard. And a lot of the times I purposely take steps back where I might still be watching stuff. Sometimes I may not. Sometimes I like may not be watching a freaking thing. Like either don't have time or I'm just over a lot of it and just for mentally, you know what I mean? I just watch other content. Which is completely different community. And those are things I just watch. Like don't chat in, like none of it. So, or just, I don't know, like interrogation videos, whatever, just stuff I would, can just relax on. Sometimes I just don't chat. Sometimes I just watch stuff, or sometimes like if the streets are on absolute fire, you know, I would rather take a minute to figure out things before jumping in and saying things, you know what I mean? That, and then be wrong and you can't take it back, type of thing. So, there's just lots of reasons. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood. Sometimes, like, I might be watching, but like, I don't necessarily agree with, what's being talked about. So maybe I'm not chatting about it just to be respectful, you know. Um, Sometimes I might just hit the like button and say that as I come in because that's all I can do, you know. But I really have such a good time hanging out in the chat. So if I can be there, I absolutely will be. but but yeah, I hear that a lot, and I think that's what it is. And but at the same time, like it's endearing because you know it's hard to see it yourself, but in a way that means you're missed. So it's nice. Yeah, exactly. Like interrogation, body cam, like yeah, I might watch like something informative or something, about like ADHD or, just I don't know, something totally different educational, something trashy and entertaining, it's just there's only so much time in the day, right? I mean, there's times where I am up at 5 something, I don't sit down till 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? So um I guess like the stuff I do on TT is also technically working, even though it doesn't really feel that way, but um I guess it is, yeah. But I don't really see it because, certainly I don't look at it that way as an income, but um it is. So I guess there's all the working on top of that is working. But but it also helped with like needing to take breaks from over here. You know what I mean? Cuz like you just really do. Like you really do, and I recommend it often. And I think what we're seeing is people who have not been taking breaks. So I think that's been a big thing. So hopefully people will do that more. People will touch some grass more. And I know we all say that, but um, you know, I would like and here's the thing. I'm not going to tell a creator what I would like to see them do with their channel. That's kind of crazy. But at the same time, I would like to see every once in a while, like, or maybe more often, them like break up their content and just do something that gives people a mental break from negativity, and darkness, basically. So, some of us, that's all we're out here doing. So, to be implicated as being like behind the scenes doing things by people who are behind the scenes doing things is just completely unacceptable. So, just so you get this message, all right, Earthy, again, you knew what you were getting into. Okay. And that goes for anyone else. All right. Um, I'm very approachable and I get that. But at the same time, if you're gonna do something shady and F shitty, then that's how you're gonna get treated. Okay. That's how I roll. There is the disclaimer for all future. Um, Now, for anyone out there who has said, "Hey, I would love to like do a panel with you, or I would love to go over this with you," that's not what I mean. Okay. Now, I did put out a list. It was like a short little list. How long did that go on for? Fuck, I was on a whole tirade. How long? Oh my god. Stop it. How long? How long? Can y'all hear me? Shut up. Since the short little list? The whole thing about Rubber Ramada? My mic died and I didn't realize it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Anyways, hellfire. I'm not going over the whole thing. I'm just not. I'm not doing it to anybody. Anyways, Rubber Ramada, my intention was to not say you were like crema and crama reels. If you notice, I had on there that there were exceptions and you were one of them. It wouldn't even make sense to put you with them because you didn't contact me privately. You were openly saying you would like to do a stream together. And you do more true crime stuff. So that wouldn't even make sense. So what was your reason for coming into Trisha's chat and doing that craziness as a creator? Why? That's all. Hellfire. I should have left when I said I was leaving. See, I did a beach and went on, but instead of falling asleep, my mic goes dead. Whatever. Whatever. I blame my own girl. For everything. Okay. That's all it is. And truth. There's a new mock shop out, guys. I think we all knew who it was going to focus on. So, yep, there's that. Other than that, I went on about that whole thing. And then that's it. I think I got everything out. So, I think we're good to go. We're good to go. Hey, Austin. Hey, there you go. You got it in. Well, thank you guys. And thank you for hanging with me. And thank you, Glitters and everyone. I appreciate you. Thank you, Summer Girl, for coming through. Happy feet. Always happy to see happy feet. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Charming, for coming over here and waving your wrench around. Girl. That thing is shiny. You had your shield maiden on, though. That's really what it was. Yeah, my mic died. I didn't realize it. And I was yapping away. Deep Thoughts by Sane. Muted. All right, ladies. I'm going to head out. Thank you so much. I'll head out now before I do something real crazy and tell you about these beads. Okay. Love you. Bye.